Hi, my name is Yong and today me and my teammate CHONG from the FT2 Group 9 will be presenting the assignment of AACS2034 Fundamentals of Computer Networks. So the table of content, which is what we are going to talk about today, is the network scenario, network design, calculations of the subnet, addressing table, and digital resources that we use. So for the introduction of network scenario, in our network scenario there's three locations: location A, location B, and location C. So for the location A, we got 3-story of the building. So for the ground floor will be registry, student, and admission departments. For the first floor will be account department, and for the second floor will be administrative department. Next is location B, which is 100 meters away from location A. So it also got 3-story in location B building, which is ground floor we got library, for the first floor we got IT resource center, and for the second floor we got science laboratory. So for the location C, it is 400 meters away from location A. So it got 12 tutorial classrooms, art room, music room, and audio vision room. So this is our network design. In our network design, we got end devices, switch, router, access point, multi-layer switch, and connection. For the end devices, we use PC, smartphone, tablet, laptop, printer, and server. For the switch, we are using empty switch. For the router, we are using empty router and access point, multi-layer switch. And for the connection, we are using copper straight through and copper crossover. Okay, so as you can see that in the part of the network design, these are the switch, router, and multi-layer switch that we use. So empty switch, empty router, and 356024 PS multi-layer switch. So as you can see in the part of the network design, there are two connections we are using. It is copper straight through and copper crossover. So for the copper crossover, we're using it on between the multi-layer switch and switch. So for the copper straight through, we're using it between switch and router, and also between the PC and switch. So there in the part of the network design, there are two types of Ethernet that we are using. So it is gigabit Ethernet and fast Ethernet. For the gigabit Ethernet, we are using it between the connection of multi-layer switch and also the switch and router. So for the fast Ethernet, we are using it between the PC and switch. So the purpose of us using the empty router and empty switch is to let us can add more port in the future. Okay, so now I will pass it to my teammate Li Cui to talk about the calculation of subnet.
Hi, my name is Chong so I'm from the FT2 Group 9. Okay, so now I will talk about the calculations of subnet. In calculations of subnet, I will talk about the number of hosts, total number of hosts, subnet mask in pivot length, subnet address, first usable host address, last usable host address, and broker address. For first one, I will talk about the suitable classes. In these two tables, we are using two classes. One is the class C, one is the class B. We are using the class C in location A. We are using the class B in location B and C. So for the next ones, the class C private address space is 192.168.0.0 to 192.168.255.255. For the class C, default subnet mask is equal to 255.255.255.0. For the class B private address space is 172.16.0.0 to 172.16.255.255. For the class B, default subnet mask is 255.255.0.0. For the next one, I will talk about the calculations of the number of hosts. We will need two calculations for 20% growth in all areas. For the formula, number of the host is number of hosts required plus number of hosts required times 20%. So for the example, administrative is 50 hosts required. So for the number of the hosts is 50 plus 50 times 20% equal to 60 hosts. So after growing 20% in administrative is 60 hosts. For this tables is after growing 20% is all area. So now we need to choose the largest host number. In this table, we can see the 50 is the largest ones. So the administrative is the largest host numbers in this table. After choosing the largest host number, we need to arrange the host number from the largest to smaller. So next, I will talk about the calculations of the total number of hosts. So the formula total number of hosts is 2 power of n more than number of hosts. So for the example, administrative is 60 hosts. Actually, the answer is 2 power of 6 equal to 64. But we need to growing the 20% so that we need to add 1 become 7. So the answer is total number of hosts equal to 2 power of 7 equal to 128. So the administrations, the total number of the hosts is 128. So this is the all calculation of the total number of hosts. So next, I will talk about the calculation of the subnet mask in pixel length. So in the class C, the subnet mask in pixel length is 24 bit plus default host bits minus request host bit. For the example, administrative is total number is 2 power of 7 equal to 120x. So the subnet mask in preferred length is using the 24 bit plus 8 bits minus 7 bits equal to 25 bits. So that the administration subnet mask in preferred length is 25 bits. So that is all the calculations of the subnet mask in preferred length. Okay, so now I will talk about the calculations of the subnet address. For the subnet address, we need to use the first total number of hosts plus first subnet address. So for the example, we can see in this table, the first total number of hosts is 128. So the first subnet address is 192.168.0.0, and we need to plus together. So that will become the 192.168.0.128. So now I will talk about the calculations of the first usable host address. The first usable host address is using the subnet mask plus 1 that will become the first usable host address. Okay, so now I will talk about the calculations of the broker address. For the broker address is using the next subnet address minus 1 to be the first broker address. Lastly, I will talk about the calculations of the last usable host address. For the last usable host address is using the local address minus 1 that will become the last usable host address. That's all for my part. I will pass up to my teammate to talk about the addressing table.
Now I will talk about address table. Okay, first is to find the router interface IP address, which is the first usable host address that we calculated just now. Okay. And then is the device's IP address, which is adding 1 in the first usable host address. So for example, of the router of the registry student admission department, after adding 1 is 192.168.0.130. So it is same for other devices. Okay, so next is to find the subnet mask. Okay, to find the router interface subnet mask, we are going to see the subnet mask in prefix length so that we can know how many bits we have to borrow. So for example, for the registry student and admission department, we are going to borrow 1 bits from the subnet mask in prefix lang. So it changed to binaries like this. So after after borrowing 1 bit from the subnet mask in prefix lang, the subnet mask of the router interface is 255.255.255.128. Okay, so for the default gateway of the for the default gateway of the devices, the router interface IP address will be all the devices of the same department. Their default gateway will be same as the router interface IP address for all devices in the same department. After that is the address table for the router, and then this is the address table for the registry student admission department, and this is the count department address table. This is the administry department address table. This is the library address table. This is the IT resource center address table. This is the science laboratory address table. This is the location C address table. And now I will pass to Li Chui for the next part.
So now I will teach everyone to configuration the IP address for the all devices. So now I will use the switch to do the examples. So first one, go to the switch and go to the CLI. After that, click enter to enter the enables and go to the configures, the menus. So next we need to go into the interface with LAN 1. After that, we can key in the IP address as the subnet mask. So the IP address is 192.168.0.2. For the subnet mask is 255.255.255.128. So next is key in the node shutdown. For change the state to up. So next we need to enter the IP default gateway. So the IP default gateway is 192.168.0.1. So next. So now I already set up this. So we can go to check it. So go to exit and enter the copyright start to set the file. Okay, so now we go to show the start. Okay, and we can see the interface with that one already set up the IP address and the IP default gateway already set up. Okay. Okay, so now I will teach everyone to set up the password. So Sam use the switch to do the examples and go to the CLIs and key in the enables. Go to the configures, the menus, and we need to go in the lines BTY 0 until 15. So we need to key in the password for the Cisco. So after that, key in the login. And next one is key in the line console 0. Also the password is same. So it's the Cisco. After that, same key in the login. So now we need to go to the enable to set up the enable secret passwords. So the password is AACS2034. So we already set up. So now we go to see we set up already or not. So we show the start. Okay. We can see the password is set up already. And this also set up the rating. Okay. Okay, so now I will teach everyone how to ping the IP address. So we choose the laptop ones and go to the desktop, go to the command prompt, and we need to ping to the PC file. So we copy and paste the PC file IP address and go back to the laptop one and enter the ping and paste it. So it needs some time to run out the result. So for the first file, we will count out the request timeout because it's the first time and it needs some time to search the IP address. So we ping next times, it will back to the normal one. Okay, that's all. Okay, so now I will talk about the digital resources. For the first one is the Google Meet. It's for us to discuss our assignments. The second one is the Google Docs. It's for us to do the report together. The third one is Canva. It's for us to create and design our presentation site. The next one is the Cisco Packet Tracer. It's for us to design our network. The next one is the Adobe Premiere Pros. It's for us to edit our presentation videos. The last one is the YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram is for us to upload our presentation video. So that's all for my part. Thank you for listening and watching. Bye bye.